So about a year and a half ago, I quit my career. I worked in business world for 15 plus years, different types of organizations, companies, startups. I even immigrated to United States by myself. I'm from a small country in Eastern Europe, Lithuania, originally. I was very, very determined all my life. I felt like I have to make it in the corporate world, in the business world. And for a long time, I felt like this was not truly it and not exactly authentic, but I really didn't know what else can I do. And I also really wanted to please my parents very strongly. I don't want to blame my parents at all. My parents are amazing. They really worked hard to support me and helped me to get education. And if not them, I wouldn't have had all these amazing opportunities that I had. So very grateful to my parents. But growing up, for some reason, I created this program that said I have to make my parents happy. I have to please them, and no matter the cost, no matter if it's draining me, uncomfortable, inauthentic to me, I have to do it. And so for my parents, they thought that happiness is to get a good, stable paying job. That's like most important part. And then, getting a house or at least an apartment, and then have a family. And so in their eyes, that was the definition of happiness. And for a good reason, because actually my parents didn't have very easy lives. So they really wanted the best for me, and they thought that that's the best. So I thought that if I followed this plan, I will make my parents happy. And also I thought, okay, maybe that's true. Maybe that's what's going to make me happy as well. So I did my best. I was the best student in my high school and in university, had very good grades. And then after I was pursuing career and for 15 years worked in different types of organizations, different types of businesses, until I got really, really burnt out to the point where I physically couldn't do work anymore. I thought I was going crazy. Mentally, emotionally, physically, I was completely exhausted. And there was a time where at night, this is kind of crazy, but in the middle of the night, I woke up and I had this internal dialogue. And I do feel like it was maybe outside of me. That's how I felt. But there was this voice in my head, and I was awake around 3 a.m. And the voice was saying, what do you think you need to be happy in life? And I responded to the voice in my head that, well, I think I need physical, emotional, mental health, and then I think I can be happy. I can make it work. And then the voice followed up with the question, does your current lifestyle support that? And I, of course, got the message. It did feel like some sort of a intervention. And I kind of knew that before, but at that time it hit differently. It hit deeper. It wasn't just information or facts, but this deeper knowing that in the direction I'm going, I cannot keep going because it's self-destructive and it just doesn't make any sense. But I was really scared to just give up everything. I was paying a lot for my rent. I was living in LA at that time, very expensive area, and I had to pay my rent. I had to buy food. I had to take care of my health. I needed money for that. And I just felt so stuck and I was so worried. And also, there was this part of me that really didn't want to disappoint my parents. This little girl who worked so hard all her life to please her parents, to get that validation and that love, was now very scared that I am disappointing my parents. And while my parents were sad and they're worried about me, they were supporting me, whatever I would choose to do. But I kind of could feel the energy, and maybe it was just in my head, but I could feel that disappointment and that worry, and the fact that they were worried about me already felt like a failure in my world. Anyway, but I just had no other choice but to stop what I was doing because I was self-destructing. And so the voice that night actually followed up with pretty specific instructions and ideas of what I can do and how can I transition from my work and my life situation at that time. And I followed all those instructions with, of course, there was a lot of hesitation and fears, and it took me some time to really take it in, but eventually I did follow those instructions and I gave up everything. I sold everything and just packed my stuff in a few luggages, and I decided that I'm gonna go to Costa Rica, which was one of the suggestions from the voice. It sounds so weird. I know, it sounds very weird. But that was the download. I like to call it download that I should go to Costa Rica. And so that's how I started my nomadic life. And this was a year and a half ago. And I just want to say that I never looked back. And has it been easy? No. Did I become rich and successful entrepreneur by traditional terms? No. But I would never go back to where I was. And so this is also partially why I wanted to share this video, in case there's someone out there just like me, suffering and trying really hard to make their life happen, even though everything is just crumbling down and the health is going down and you just have no energy anymore and you're exhausted on so many levels, but you just scared to make this huge change. You don't know how it's gonna go. You don't know, is this safe? Is this okay? I totally get it. I was so afraid and scared. I didn't have a lot of money saved up. I did have some, but not a lot, because where I was living, the living costs were very high, even though I was paid well, but I was spending a lot just to make a living. I did have some saved up. And then the fact that I went to Costa Rica, the living cost was a little bit lower there. And I was living very frugally, very simply. And somehow things were just working out. I started working on what I always felt called to work on, is building my own practice. So for most of my career, I worked in business consulting, sales, marketing, and I wanted to build my own practice where I can use that professional experience and skills and knowledge with my passion for mindset and spirituality and merge those two worlds, because as a business consultant, I could see that the reason why many people are not succeeding in business is not because of lack of information, lack of strategy. Most of the time, it's not that. It's because, in my opinion, we need to take a more holistic approach. There's just so much more going on, so much more than just strategy. There are limiting beliefs, fears, traumas, so much underneath that we must address to become more free and to start creating life that we want. That's what I saw, that's what I really believed in, and I wanted to have my own practice where I helped people not only with that strategic business information, but with that support internally. Helping people to work through their internal beliefs and fears. And it was not easy because I was also going through that, and I'm still going through that. So imposter syndrome was huge, so many fears and limiting beliefs. But what was beautiful, it was I was going through the whole thing myself. So kind of the curriculum and downloads and everything I needed for my business to help other people, I was getting in the real time. So I was receiving all of that, going through it all, recycling, and then using that to help other people. And I didn't have a lot of clients. I still don't have a lot of clients. I'm still doing a lot of inner work as I go. And life is not perfect, but oh my God, it's so much better than it was. Now I can wake up and I can choose what I want to do that day. Now I can work on something that I truly care about, something that I truly believe in, something that I truly believe helps people and also helps me, and I enjoy it. And yes, it can be very stressful because you don't know if you're going to make enough money the next month. You don't know if you're going to have enough clients. You don't know. I don't even know where I'm going to live exactly next month, because since I became nomadic, I've been traveling, and life is full of unknowns right now. So full of unknowns. And every day is a surrender. But I would never go back to where I was, because where I was betraying myself. And that is just the biggest stab in my heart, that I was doing that. But at the same time, I understand I had to go through that experience. I'm grateful for that experience. It was a very enriching experience. I learned so much. And while I'm saying I would never go back there, I still don't regret any of those things, because it helped me to come to this point. It helped me to come to this point of surrender. It taught me so much about life, about myself, about what I want. So no regrets. Gratitude for it all. But I'm just sharing this. I'm sharing this for myself to process all of this, but also in case someone will find it helpful. I'm not saying that you should do this. I'm not saying that you have to quit your job and that's the best way, the only way. No, 100% no. This is definitely not for everyone. This is definitely not the best thing for everyone. And I always, always, always encourage you to follow your own inner guidance, your own intuition, your own free will. You have all the answers. But in case there's someone who's really on the edge, someone like me, suffering, worried, stressed, I just wanted to come here and say hi and say that things do get better and that you will find a way, and that once you start letting go more, universe supports you. Somehow things are always working out for me, and no, I'm not rich. No, I'm not hugely successful in traditional terms, but I can sleep better. I have more freedom. I'm more excited about life and every day. And yes, I'm grateful for it all. And none of those things in the past were mistakes. But I'm so glad and grateful to myself for taking that step and following that inner voice, that guidance. So I hope this was useful to someone. Please comment below if you can resonate with any of this. Tell me your story, where you are in life, what's going on with you, and in the links below you'll find some free courses, resources, things that helped me, and also a link to a free consultation or support session. Much love to you. Blessings.